Hi, this is Marilyn from Take Me Home Italy. It's good to see everybody here. I hope you're enjoying the filming. I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine. We met, I think it was 2015 or 2016. And this is Arianna. She is a person who grew up in Toscana, and she's wonderful. I've worked with her on several occasions. All my clients who have worked with Arianna always, every single time, say that was the highlight of their vacation. So Arianna, ciao bella, come va?
Ciao Marilyn and ciao to everyone. All
Nice to
good
see
here. It's so great to see you again.
It is, I love it. Tell me, one of the things that I've never come right out and asked you, your business is called KM0 Tours. KM0 is not a term that we use in the US very much. So what exactly does KM0 mean? I think I know, but would you share with us what it means?
Absolutely, with pleasure. So KM0, in Italian, we do have kilometers. We don't have the miles. And so KM0 means 0 kilometers. So it means zero distance between the travelers and the people they will meet during their journeys. So it's all about, it's like a movement. Usually it's connected to the food. So KM0 food means local food, seasonal food that you can find at the stores. In our case, we decided to apply the concept of this movement, so about the seasonality and this KM0 movement to the travel. And so to apply this concept and to apply this zero distance between the visitors and the people they would meet. And as a result, by going right to the places and by going right to the producers, people will interact with the farmers, will meet the people, and having the possibility to ask them questions in person. And that will lead to memories, and that will lead to a totally different meaning to the experience. And so they will come back home with a totally different, appreciation and knowledge of the places they will have visited. So that's why KM0. It's what we decided to. Actually, the idea to call ourselves this way, it was done by a friend of ours many years ago, back in 2014, when we started. We were having dinner at a local wine bar close to us, and there was a sign with written KM0 products. We use in this restaurant, we use KM0 products. And I remember that she asked she asked, so what does that mean? And I was like, really? You don't know about this KM0? How is that possible? Because here in Italy it's huge. It's a huge movement. Everyone knows about it. And so I was very surprised. I was like, really? And so I explained to her, and she said, that could be a good idea for your business, because actually maybe people won't remember you immediately because they won't recognize immediately what you do. But then once they have understood the concept, then they will remember not just the name, but the whole meaning, which comes together with the name. And she convinced us, and
that's why you chose it, huh? That's great. It's a great story. And I was drawn to the name. I had an idea that it meant close to home, local products like the slow food movement and local things. And that's my experience with you, has always been that when I'm with you, when my clients are, they're going somewhere close to where you are. They're going to try absolutely authentic foods, wines, olive oil, so on and so forth. And they meet people, and they see the heart and soul that goes into that food. And that's how they remember too, what you said. So
yeah, also because I think in the, let's say, here in the countryside, it's possible to apply these concepts, because most of the farms are private homes of the people, and most of the employees are family members as well. So there's, also, Alessio is my husband and my partner, and here it's very common. So it's really possible to to taste the product and not just have a wine tasting, but also meeting the family and, you know, learning the stories and getting to their homes, and same can be said for any other product. So in a city, maybe it's a little bit harder because probably, I guess, people are more, you know, they tend to divide their business life and their private life. They are, I think, in a big city, people are tend to be overwhelmed by, you know, they have so many inputs, and so they tend to protect a little bit their family members and their private life. Here in the countryside, it's totally different because we are always on our own. We have plenty of space, you know, and there's not much going on. So for us, you know, during the season, on a normal season, of course, meeting new people is so much fun because,
oh, sure.
so like we love to open our homes and to open our hearts and, you know, to just be natural instead of saying, you know, so, okay, so we don't really think I am working. We think, you know, what a fun way to travel, in a way, stay home, but travel at the same time, because you travel through the stories of these people. So
That's true. And, you know, for people like me that typically don't drive when they're in Italy, traveling in Italy. I mean, I live in Italy now for 4 years and I still don't drive. So I didn't get out into Chianti. I went on a tour, a big bus tour for wine tasting once. But what I appreciate of one of the things that you do is I can go spend a few days in Florence and enjoy Firenze as much as I want. And then you come and pick me up. And take me out into the countryside for a day. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the things that helps other people who don't want to drive, because you really can't explore Chianti without a car. You can't explore most of the countryside in Toscana without a car.
No, it's impossible. Yeah, also because we don't have a train system here in the countryside. I mean, of course, there is a train station in Florence, but let's say it doesn't get here. Buses are, you know, you can rely on buses that much. And in any case, they don't really go to the places you want to go because they stopped right in the center of a village. But of course, those farms, they're not located in a village, they are in the country. And then I think also it's also about going with somebody they trust and they love, in the sense that I think you are a tourist if you just stop by and, you know, you just, nobody knows you and they treat you like a client. But if you go to, you know, to these places with somebody who is, for them, who is a family member, an extended family member, it's a whole different experience, because these people, they treat you like they would treat me, because they see you as a friend of mine, and so they just, you know, they really like, yeah, they really let you spend some hours like, you know, we were old friends. And yeah.
What was the baker? Pepe? Is it Pepe the baker? Yeah, Pepe. I mean, I remember meeting him with you and it was like I met a long lost uncle or something, you know. He's flirting with me, we're talking, you know, making gluten-free products.
Actually, if I need to probably to say who, one person, the person who is missing, let's say, travelers the most, that is probably best.
He enjoys it.
He gets to see only his wife. It's been months that he doesn't have any other distraction. Every time we go there to buy some bread, he's like, so Arianna, what do you think? When do we start again? And I'm like, I have no idea.
Nobody knows. I remember he pulled out 2 different bottles of alcohol while we were trying pastries. Like, okay. He was fun.
He is ready to be back at the show. He can't wait. Like everyone is, of course. But let's say, that's.
Yeah. Well, you know, people ask all the time. Well, I have on my website, I have a questionnaire to try to hone people down to what they're looking for. And on that questionnaire, I ask, do you want to meet locals? And almost everyone picks yes, they want to meet locals, but they have no idea how to do that. And so meeting locals to me is meeting Italy, because if you're in Calabria and you meet locals, it's different than if you meet locals in Tuscany or Liguria or wherever. but you're meeting the people who created the environment that you're walking in. You're meeting their the history of their families. You're meeting how they live. And then you get a better understanding of what Italy really is.
Yeah.
You can't get that so much on a big tour bus. You can't. And as much as I'm totally addicted to art and art history, and Florence is my favorite city in the world for that. I can spend days in museums and be very happy, but that's just me and my solitary self with this work of art. It's not meeting the people who created the art. It's not meeting, their parents and so on. Whereas when I go somewhere with you or my clients do, they have a usually private tour in your car, or you or one of your associates, and they sit down with the family and taste olive oil while they eat meals with olive oil, or they have a full dinner with the vintner and his family and taste the wine. And sure, they have to pay for that, but they do. Or they have a cooking class with a little mama from town, the local person. This is what I dreamt of doing when I wanted to create Take Me Home Italy. I just don't have the capacity because I don't have the connections you do. And that's why we work together, because I can bring you people.
Exactly. No, I think also, you say very well that you cannot really get that experience in a big bus, and it's very hard to get that experience if you are alone as well, because it's not like what most people think that you can just stop people. It's different. People are in Italy. We are very laid back and we are very relaxed, and so for sure, we are more willing to talk and to meet new people, but it's difficult if you're alone and to just stop people in a square and start talking just randomly. It is. You go much deeper if you have somebody who is a key to open some doors, because at that point, and then you can keep going on your own, in the sense that once you understand from one person, like then let's say, then you don't have to have the guy the whole time next to you, but let's say it just helps you to get that kind of experience, and then once you have that vision, that you can, of course, you can keep going, and you will be having a totally different vision of traveling after that. I believe.
I think you'll get the true heart and soul of Italy when you do that. And one of from the very beginning, I had a theme on my website: find your Italian soul, discover your Italian soul. And I think that means anybody that comes to Italy can get a piece of it, can understand who these people are, and again, you can't generalize, because Italy is a bunch of city-states all put together. And they're not homogeneous, they're a mixture of people. So it's very different when I go to Campania, or go to Napoli and visit relatives, versus Abruzzo even, which is right next door, and it's totally different from here. Tuscany is different, but Liguria is more reserved. It's more reserved. It's harder to make new friends, but I love it here. So anyway, as you said, in a normal year, this is what you do. It hasn't been a normal year for over a year now. So all of us that are in the travel industry have been looking at different ways to continue working in our industry. You came up with a really, really cool idea, and please share it with us and talk to us about it. I've received a package of this already and loved it, but tell us all about it. What's your new business angle?
So what happened is, as probably, of course, all of you know, a year ago, especially for those who are working with tourism, it has been tons of disaster in terms of, like we have seen in a few days, the whole season just breaking down, and it has been very challenging also to predict again how how things would evolve and everything. So let's say I think one of the most important thing has been how to stay connected, because we were all so busy in our own concerns, I believe, that it was very hard to focus on the other ones. We had to, it was really something which happened. It was really like a survival kind of instinct, which, you know, everyone had to, you know, just concentrate on surviving basically. And that is, of course, is a natural approach that each of us, of course, had. But let's say then the next step is to protect all the relationships that you have created in all these years, and not to ruin everything just because of fear, you know. So we said, okay, so now let's keep calm, let's find a way, you know, especially to stay connected with, you know, with the friends all over the world, with wonderful collaborators like you, and you know, with our friends and producers here, because also here we were so close but so far at the same time, because we were just talking about that now with you, that in this countryside, also in Liguria where you live, and also here in Chianti, each municipality is such a small little village, and so, you know, you couldn't even go to a 10-minute village. So what it was close, it became so far. And so we said, okay, so let's find a way to stay connected and to find a way to support all these farmers now that, you know, tourists are not here and restaurants are closed, and, you know, so they cannot really sell anywhere their products. Because also if they don't survive, I don't survive either. It's a whole chain. And, you know, if we don't survive, you don't survive. And,
That's
you know,
correct.
so we really, so the first thought has been, let's survive. But then the second thought that has been, everyone needs to survive, you know? So, you know, so we said, okay, let's try to find this way to support each other. And that was the beginning of this idea to create these boxes, these baskets, representing Tuscany, and let's say selecting the products from our friends here. My idea has been always to represent Tuscany, not just in one aspect, but to represent Tuscany in its diversity and complexity. So I think, you know, it's important to express a little bit of everything, from the wine to the food, to the artisans as well. And also it's important to represent the seasons, because in the countryside, everything changes according to the season. It's not like being again in a city where everything is always available. Here, every season has its own specialties, and it's fun, you know, to give value to every single season. So it was around October, November, this year, so like last year, but very recently, a few months ago. And we said, okay, so let's try to set up these, you know, this project. The idea, it was, let's say we had this idea for a long time, but let's say finally we had the strength to begin this project. And so for Christmas has been our first edition to create a Christmas box, and it has been such a great success. We didn't expect that. I remember, you know, it was November. I said, okay, I'm too late, like always. You know, and there's no way we are going to, you know, to ship any boxes because it's too late. And instead, we did that post, and the support of the people has been incredible. And a lot of people have been saying, you know, it was like having you in our homes. And I think
It was. You were with me at Christmas.
It meant so much for us, because also, again, in my opinion, the most important thing in this moment is really to stay connected. And the food is really, it's really incredibly able to do that. So to bring people together in a way, even if we are not together, but, you know, you through the food and through some handicraft, or, you know, you can really remember things. And I think, you know, the memories, the real memories that people have, are not just tasting something or seeing something, but is tasting a product and see something in connection with an experience you had. So if you are able, you know, to then to remember things, or, you know, to have a whole experience, then it's, you know, it gives you a totally different meaning and appreciation. So it really was the same concept of our KM0, just through the packages instead of through the tours that we usually run.
It's like, it's a holistic approach. It's you're smelling everything, you're tasting everything.
Exactly.
You know your friends pack this for you, and it's just an all around. How do you, come si dice holistic in Italiano?
It's
Is there a word?
No, it's like sì, tutti i sensi. There isn't really a one word to express that, but I understood.
You understand anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that you created this package. So you've done Christmas and you're doing spring right now.
Spring right now, because again, now it's tomorrow it's going to be the spring equinox. So it's we are at the beginning of the next season, and we were so excited to create this new box of our celebrating spring, which is let's say, which is all about the spring products. So we have, from the artichokes to the asparagus to the peperino to the colomba cake, of course, which is a specialty for Easter and spring in any
what
case.
Was that? What was that?
Colomba.
Oh, the colomba, say that.
Colomba, yes, the bird, like colomba means the dove is this.
Yeah, the dove.
Yeah, the dough is similar to the panettone, but then the shape is different, and also it has the almonds on top and the sugar. It's delicious.
So people can have it for Easter, but they can enjoy it after Easter as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we decided, we let's say, of course, it's the symbol of Easter, but then Italians enjoy it for the whole spring season. So yeah, it's and then also we decided to add something from Abruzzo as well, because Alessio is from Abruzzo. We are a Tuscan Abruzzese couple, so we have honey and pecorino, all Tuscan products for spring. But also we decided to add something from Abruzzo as well. And in Abruzzo, they have this tradition of the confetti, which are the sugar almonds. And they're delicious. And in Abruzzo, they go it's not just the sugar almonds. They create wonderful flowers with these sugar almonds. And so we decided to include, as we are, celebrating spring and the colors and the flowers and everything, to include some edible flowers made with the confetti from Sulmona in Abruzzo. So it's a very special, let's say, it means a lot for us, because they are our two favorite regions together, let's say.
Perfect. I grew up with the confetti, and then the homemade sugar almonds that are not with the hard outsides. I don't know what those are called, but I grew up with both of those.
Yeah.
So I saw your cute flowers. So at the end of this video, I'll be putting up some all the information about getting to your website, KM0 Tours, and so that they can see your boxes and your packages, as well as the other things that you do. Because hopefully there will be some traveling done by, I don't know when, maybe fall, maybe autumn. Let's hope, but we don't really know, do we?
No, so until let's say, we cannot know. We are here and we are ready, of course, to welcome all of you as soon as we can. But let's say, yes, until we wait, at least it's a great way, to be able to travel a little bit again through our food and our specialties, and to bring Tuscany to people until people can come to us. Basically,
yes.
It's a fun, and it has been so much fun for us as well to keep active and to stay in touch with all the people. So yeah,
it is. And I think that one of the things I love about you and your group and your business is, yes, we both have businesses. We both need to make some money to put food on the table, but there are ways of doing it that don't sacrifice who we are. Yeah. And I think that you are this KM0 person. You are a slow food movement person. You are a person that your business wants people to enjoy Italy the way you enjoy Italy, the real whole soul of Italy, and so do I. And so when I work with clients, and they can't all afford to spend a whole week with you. I remember one client that did, but generally most people can't afford to do that. So within their plans to travel, I always try to stick in a couple of days with KM0, because those are the ones that are the most memorable. You know, you can still do a tour of the Uffizi with a book or a headset. You know, you don't have to have the whole history behind every piece of art. You have to choose sometimes where you want to spend your money. Well, if you really want to meet locals, going and experiencing it with you is one way to do it. I'm doing some things up here now too that are similar. Well, I hope to be doing them someday when we grow up and get out of COVID land. But you know, if you don't have fun, there's no purpose in life to me. I want to laugh. I want my people that I work with to have a good time and smile and enjoy life like a local does, and slow down, you know. And that's one of the things we don't have to worry about with you, because there's always enough time when you make a visit.
Absolutely. No, it's never rushed also, because I think there's no reason to do it again if you are in the countryside. If you are in the cities, then I understand that there's so many things to see, and you say like, once I'm here I want to see as much as possible. But in the countryside, is really there is no need to do it, because everything is small, and it would make any sense to it wouldn't make any sense to rush, let's say, to rush the people. Also, because the most important thing is to let them understand the families, and to meet the people, and it takes time, to create a connection, but once the connection is there, then it will stay forever. So it really, it's worth it to invest a little bit of time, and for this kind of relationships.
Yes, and I can't wait to see you again in person, and maybe we can hug each other.
Exactly.
Here, I'll hug you right now.
Yeah.
But even seeing your smile is always nice for me. So I will give information on this will go on my Patreon site first, and then I'll share it with the others, and I will have a printout of all your information. Okay, and it's cam0tours.com, isn't it? Or
yeah, it is.
Correct. Okay, so I'll write all that down, and contacting you, and we'll keep in touch. And once I get this, I'll put it on eventually on Facebook, and you'll be able to see it. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marilyn.
Grazie mille. Ci vediamo.
Ci vediamo presto.
Nessuno
lo sa.
Ok, arrivederci, ciao.
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 Grazie.
Grazie.